Good evening, Europe, and good morning and good afternoon to all our friends who are watching from the USA and South America, and I'm sure it's many of them. I see the number of viewers is growing very fast. I see also a lot of comments from very important dog people coming already, and I'm sure that is going to make my guest very happy tonight. As you all know, my friend who is our guest tonight was born in Cuba. He lived in Colombia. Now he lives in Brazil. He was a professional handler. He is a well-known breeder. He's a judge who has traveled all around the world. So I'm sure it's going to be very interesting to talk to him tonight. So it's my pleasure to wish good afternoon to our friend Gabriel Valdez in Brazil. Hi, Gabi. Good afternoon or good evening for us. How are you? Are you excited about tonight?
I'm excited and also nervous, but thank you very, very much.
You don't need to be nervous. There is no need for that. There are so many comments already, and the number of people is growing. We have comments like from Michael Canalizo, who is saying this will be epic. Such a great lover of all things sighthound. Stuart Diopse saying hello from Sweden. Have lots of fun tonight, like we did last week. Hugs from the king and the prince. Gabi will know. And Jose Homem de Melo is saying, hi, dear Gabi, a big hug from the Portuguese Basset Hounds. Diva Racera saying it will be a great interview. A lot of people, Zafra Sirik saying, hope to meet again soon. It was a lot of fun last time in Sweden. Want to ask you as an IG breeder, you do breed also non-standard colors. What is your opinion about that issue? We will talk about that obviously a little bit later. Bruno Nodal is saying good evening to all and to the great friend Gabriel. Patricia Nemirovsky de Alcina, hello guys, exciting interview. Andrew Bray saying, hi Gabi, this is the time of year we should be back in Korea. So people from all around the world, Gabi, are watching, and I'm happy about that. My first question, like always, for you is, what was your last time on a dog show as an exhibitor or as a judge, and what are you hoping to be your first show this year?
Well, before this crazy time, this different era, oh my goodness, over 12 months I stayed at home. This is unbelievable. I'm sorry, but this is a bullshit. Oh my goodness. You know, the last time I showing was in Lima, in Peru, at the beautiful dog shows with Ilaria, our mutual friend manager. Everything looks amazing with a great panel of judges, with the International Dog Show in Lima, our president, FCI President Thomas Jagger was there. The Queen Chicxulub lady Wendy Paquette also was there, and one of my favorite people in the world, Barbara Mueller, also was there. So this was the last time before this crazy era.
Which year it was, Gabi? Was it 2019 or 2020?
No, 2019.
Ah, so you have been really long time at home.
Yes, and don't say that again.
And what are you hoping when this is going to change? What do you hope to be your first dog show?
When they get the vaccination, and when the people want to have Brazilians back again in his own countries.
Yes, but are they talking about, are there any dog shows in South America, or there is nothing happening at the moment?
Well, you know, our clubs start to open the door again for dog shows. Now in 2 weeks in Rio de Janeiro, 2 clubs working together to have the very first dog show after the nothing, because nothing is done. But the first time we have a dog show now in Rio in 2 weeks.
Okay, that sounds good. I want to ask you, before we start to talk about your life in dogs, Gabi, Brazil is going to host World Dog Show in 2022. Are the Brazilian people very excited about that?
I don't think so, but I'm not in the committee, so nobody say nothing to me. But I hope so. I hope so, yes. I hope everybody can be so excited, and we can find a good number of exhibitors. I know the people on board is working so hard to make a beautiful dog show to be welcome to everybody who wants to come.
And well, when I have you there, I suppose that many of the European people will think that it's a great opportunity to visit Brazil, because everybody wants to visit Brazil once in a lifetime. How difficult is to travel with dogs from Europe to Brazil? Is it difficult or it's easy?
I think it's easier because about documents and bad documents are really easy to done, and it's nothing different like you have it your international health certificate with all the vaccination done and the rabies vaccine 30 days before your trip. So it's very easy to coming into the continent. All South American countries have almost the same rules when somebody comes out.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So, okay, so we can start thinking about December 2022 and going to Brazil. This is something nice to do.
My house is big, so everybody's welcome.
Oh, well, not everybody, because it's not going to be big enough. But
you are welcome, my friend.
Thank you. My last question about that: what kind of weather you have normally in Brazil in December?
For us, it's summertime. December is summertime, right? But the place we try to fix it, the show, to prepare the show, we already have 2 times before a dog shows in the same place, and the conditions are wonderful. It's not hot, it's not cold. They have a good air conditioner. It's huge. So I think so can be safe for everybody, and also, well, for European dogs are also can be saved.
Okay, perfect. Okay, you have also there are a lot of messages already coming, of course, and I cannot read them all, but I try from time to time to catch on some of that I think you will be happy to hear. So you have a message from Venture Charlotte Skogli saying, "Hello, Gabriel's Norwegian family and sister are watching. We miss you and we need to see you when COVID is over." So many of your friends are watching, and I will try to catch on all the comments. And also, obviously, if you have any questions for Gabi, just post them. I will be happy to read them, and I'm sure Gabi will be happy to answer them. And as I ask you every time, please make a photo of your screen that you're watching this interview, put it on Instagram story, tag me, and I will share it later. It always makes me happy. Let's go, Gabi, to your early childhood. I said already you were born in Cuba. Well, it was not so long time ago. As I said, you were born in Cuba. And what I found out about your early age, that actually your first breed were the rough collies, which you were breeding and showing in the early 70s. Tell us a little bit about young boy Gabi in Cuba.
Well, Ante, you can imagine to born in the communist era, inside a communist family in a communist country. Was difficult. My parents, my father, working for Castro government, so he was in the army. He was military. He has a child who loves arts, who loves dogs and dog shows. So he's a very different kind of person to be successful in a country with a totally different style to live in. You know, for communist people, nothing related with dog shows at that time. Now it's changing a little more, but at that time was really hard, and especially for my parents. So we import, with my parents' help, rough collies from Latvia. Also, we have 2 Bracos Italianos. Was a Castro present for my parents. So my first litter are with papers, with pedigrees, are Bracos Italianos. you know, it was everything in my life. I was a very different child who
different,
one,
different in which way,
yes,
Gabi?
yes,
Different
very
in which way?
different. Because one day I say to my parents, you know something, I'm gay. I don't want to live more in this country, and I need somebody help me to go out because I'm totally knows inside myself. This is not a place who can make all my dreams come true. I already looking for information about dog shows and everything, and we start in Cuba with the Cuban Sinologic Federation. I was a kid because before the communists, Cuban Kennel Club was a very successful kennel club. One of the very first one kennel club in Latin countries, but I'm not born yet. But we have the books, we have all the pedigree registration we find in the library. We have a lot of information about that. So communists never support this kind of sport. So thanks God, my father, with very special contacts, helped me to go out. He said one day to me, you know, it's more safe for you live out to Cuba. And it was the time when established in Colombia with my dogs. I bring all my dogs like in chicken box because I don't have a crates. It was almost impossible to find in Cuba crates or kennel or something like that to travel by plane with dogs. But then I bring my dog with me and I start to already showing in Cuba several times in very small shows and shows without point with no CCs and something like that. We start in that way. But in Colombia was a beautiful start. It was a beautiful, I think was my real start in dog show. I start to handling dogs free for people. Was the really meeting with something I have in my heart, our sport.
Yeah, and tell me this. You mentioned that the first dogs you had were the Bracos, which were given to your parents. How much were your parents actually involved in dogs? Did they just love the dogs, or they wanted also to breed dogs? Or
no, they love dogs. My mom and my father lived together for 68 years and never fighting. The only fighting I hear in my house was when my shepherd, my father, German shepherd, eat or killing my mother chihuahuas. So this is the only time I saw my parents fighting. My mother have chihuahuas, chihuahua with pedigrees and everything because they bring from the Soviet Union. But then she never registered the puppies and she never was involved in show before coming inside myself this attitude to showing dogs and everything. But yes, they have shepherds and chihuahuas all time, and barking, barking, barking in my ears.
And do you remember your first dog show?
Oh yes, was in Cuba. Was in Cuba. We take a train and we don't pay nothing because somebody helped to make that crazy trip, and everybody holding the dog like this and sitting in a chair in a chair between somebody have a Great Dane and I have a Galgo Español already gave it by a friend. And this Great Dane tried to eat my dog during 12 hours in this crazy train. But was not a really dog show because you go inside the stadium and you take the microphone and say to 25 people, I have it, a Spanish Greyhound. And the people clapping. So this was my first experience in a dog show. I was in Cuba.
Yeah. And tell me, I read something that before you went out from Cuba, you have been in a way involved with the Cuban Kennel Club.
Yes. Well, when we come to talk about mentors, I have two mentors in my dog's life. The first one was a close friend who I love to still calling friend. Her name is Zoila Portuondo. She was the lady who started looking about the history in Havanese in Cuba. in the communist era, she was my first mentor in the dog walk. And we go together to dog shows. She was a wire fox person, but she's stay in love with Havanese, and we go to rescue Havanese from the street, from some garbage tank. We're looking for a dog who looks like Havanese, and we take that dog, and we breed it with another dog, and we start to make the Havanese genetic beast, the pedigree. In a little book, we write every single name like Lolita, Mambo, Juanita, Jose, Pedro. So this was the start of the Havanese history in Cuba. Was a beautiful time, Ante. Believe me, was a beautiful time in these crazy years when we walk for hours because we don't have a transportation, we don't have a bus or taxis or something, because everything was very difficult in Havana to show dogs or go to dog shows in bicycle. You put the Havanese in the middle, in a little box, a metallic box, and you just drive bicycle
fast
for 3 hours. So this was beautiful time. It was a beautiful time. I don't know, with my age, I can do something like that right now. It's not possible. But at that time was a full of energy and passion. But yes, Soila was a great, great person who helped me in all my ways when I lived in Cuba.
Oh, that's great. So that was actually the start of the Havanese in Cuba. Lolita and Joselito and Pedrito.
Was funny. Was funny. Was so beautiful. I never breed Havanese, but all the people around me have that dream to try to recover, to take back the Havanese patrimonio of the breed in Cuba. It was beautiful.
Tell me, Gabi, when was your kennel name registered? It's called Da Vinci's, and where did the name come from?
Oh my God, I love art. Everybody who knows me knows I don't have a $1 because all the money I get in my life I'm spending in things. So I love art. I love paintings. Leonardo da Vinci is my inspirations in many of things I do it in my life. I traveled to Italy several times. When I started with piccolos, I just thinking this name involved all my passion and all my love in these little porcelains. Yes, I'm big fan of Da Vinci's history.
So that's where the kennel name came from. And okay, before we start to talk about a little bit more about the two breeds that you have at the moment, obviously there were some other breeds that you were breeding in your life that you don't have them anymore. But I would like quickly just to pass a few of these breeds that you tell us more or less how did your story with this breed start, why did it, and what success you have. Tell us a little bit about few of the breeds that you were breeding. Let's start with the Whippets.
Okay. I start to showing dogs for people. The people love to see me in the ring running around with a dog, and everybody say, Gabi, please, you can go to that ring and show me my dog and give it the lead to me so I can show me the dog. And when I bag, people want to say to me, you want a Coke? Do you want to have a dinner? I say, okay, good. So this is when I start to show dogs for free. I show you my piccolos, my Italian greyhounds, and they win a lot. So at the beginning, when somebody come from Cuba without expertise, nobody knows who I am, and coming to Bogota to our biggest shows and winning, maybe it's nobody knows now, but Colombia have 7 groups like APC for long time. So piccolos or Italian Scions, they coming inside the 5 groups. So all the beautiful Havanese, Maltese, and Pekingese, and all the beautiful 5 groups, and the small Italian Greyhound in the end, and they start to winning. So everybody was very curious, and also I got into curious in another breeds too. At that time, I already have American visa. I fly to America. I talk with somebody, a sporting field kennel. I bring the whippet from sporting fields. I go to Canada. I bring greyhounds from Bloody Brook. And I start to looking around and find dogs and find dogs. And yes, definitely hounds and scihounds was something I really want to understand and show in my hands, because at that time I loved to moving in the ring with a dog with great movement. So some people call me like Scihound collector, because I have several breeds, and also I go into Africa and import some Asawaks, and I start with these crazy things about Asawaks and bring some ones to South America. And dogs without pedigree, the Colombian Kennel Club don't want to register. I fight it with the Colombian Kennel Club. Finally, I got their registration for out pedigree Asawak. Was so funny when I come in with an Asawak in the ring. I started winning, and finally one year he won the dog of the year, the top dog of the year, with an Asawak without pedigree. So this is what I start with Scihounds. I show in filas brasileiros. I breed in filas brasileiros. A dog in my hands within 65 best in show. A fila brasileiro with 85 kilos. So it's very. I always was very curious. I love animals, Ante. This house at litters too. Well, I don't have too many animals now, but I love animals all my life. I breed in many things: cat, rabbits, all chickens, all breed of chickens. So this is a house of 24 hours work, because you know animal how hard time you can have to breeding and taking care and everything. So yes, I'm breeding Australian Shepherds. I meet somebody who was crazy for poodles, so I start to breeding toy poodles and standard poodles, and breeding a very successful best in shows toy poodle with this person help who was a great groomer. So this is in big performance what I'm doing in dogs.
There were also some dachshunds in your life, yes?
Yes. I'm sorry, I forgot, but it's true. A good person, a great breeder, Guy Gibbons, who everybody knows him, support me a lot in Grand Gables bloodline. So I import some beautiful minis from him, and also some standard from another influence breeders. I don't want to call the problem, but the influence I have it in dogs always came from North America. Because remember, I already said to you, Colombian Kennel Club have 7 groups. So normally, almost all judges, the Colombian Kennel Club invited, and American judges. European camps, well-known FCI also camps too, but our bees, our genetic bees in Colombia was American dogs. So normally my standard dogs are big boys because they come from US. Some of my piccolos are white markings because I import parti-colored dogs from America at the beginning. So yes, I got it a big influence in American type dogs at the beginning of my life in our sport.
Yeah. I want to go back, Gabi, just because you said you have been involved in many of sighthound breeds, and it would be interesting to hear this story about winning top dog all breeds with a dog who didn't have the pedigree. Actually, I want to ask you about Azawaks. There is always a lot of talking about the temperament of Azawaks. Should the judges touch them? Should the judges not touch them? How they should react if the judge want to touch them? Tell us what is your opinion about how really should be the temperament of one Azawak.
I think, first of all dogs need to be touched. All breeds. If you're coming inside a ring in a dog show, your dog need to be allowed to show it. This is the first thing in every breed, in every kind of breeds. Hounds and Scihounds, you don't need to give a massage. In a special dogs like Asawaks, they are like sculptors. So you see everything in the front of your eyes. You see how sound they can be. You see the group, the top line, ears in section, neck, everything, shoulders, everything you see in that animal. So you can touch, you can put your hands on in a special point you want to looking for, right? You need to see the disc and everything, but you don't need to put your face in the front of the Afghan. You don't need to do that with the Saluki also, even with a whippet. They don't feel comfort. They don't feel happy with somebody who never lived with him, with them, want to touch too much. This is something every judge need to understand. They are different. Sihams are different. An Asawak is not one exception, right? So yes, I showing a lot of ones, a lot of dance, and in my hands, many Asawak winning big shows in South America, several besting shows. I remember a great judge from the United States said to me in the podium, I can't spell the name of the breed, but I think it's a beautiful dog. I'm put up for besting show. But it was at the beginning of the history in Latin country. Europe started in Asawaks many years before and import the first one to South America. But the first one we showing in South America was my dogs. So it was difficult at that time because I bring a dog without pedigree. The mother born in Africa, in the desert Africa, and the father was a German dog. Also, with some blind dogs in the pedigree. So I have a pedigree, but not a complete pedigree. The Colombian Kennel Club don't want to register him, so I write to FCI if the clerk sending a grade later. So some help I got from outside, and finally the Colombian Kennel Club understand we need to register the dog at that book, right? And he won the dog of the year. So this was a very funny history, and he was the first Asawa who won the international championship with all the Cassie in South America. It was beautiful. You know, this is my heart. Saihon are my heart, but Asawa is something special. Always Asawaks are in my life for a long time. So, I miss playing a lot.
Yeah. So you would say, of course, so they should not be touched a lot, but you should be able, let's say, to approach them and to check the teeth, and they should not go back when the person is approaching them.
No, Ante, I remember. Yes, you need to touch them. This is very important. You don't need to give a hug to the dog. I saw many judges, my college, good friends, people I really feel a big respect. But right now, some judges think you need to hug a dog to be kind. This is something really to be a discussion. You don't need to hug a dog who is not your dog. You don't need to kiss a dog who not live in your house. This is somebody else's dog. It's not your own pet. So a judge need to go in for the right point you need to touch. It's not a massage in any breeds. In any breed. Either with Italian Greyhounds, if you're going to put a little Italian Sihon over the table and a judge start to talk with the dog and touching and take the tail down the body and push the tail, happen the same. No matter what kind of temperament the Italian Sihon or the Whippet or whatever. I already saw the judge who put the tail of the Afghan down. I already saw that in the ring. You never need to do that. So this is some kind of mistake. And Asawa is coming inside that kind of mistake. But yes, some will have a very bad temperament and some will have a good temperament.
Yeah. This is well, it's a lot of people obviously who are writing while you are talking. Paloma, let me see, Paloma Pogerer, if I have read well, is saying also my point of view. Don't touch them if you can see everything you need without touching. Francesco Cocchetti is saying Sidehounds group is a special group, and I think when you can go in that group, then as a judge you reach the good goal. Also, George Shogol is saying totally agree. The Sidehounds are different, and we must always consider it when judging. Obviously, so this is it. And then we have Gabi, when we are talking about temperaments, one interesting question from Ciord. He's asking you, how about Fila Brasileiro? I have seen instruction videos how to judge them, but should you still be able to touch them?
Well, this is a very important question. I showing feelers for a long, long time. Also breeding some litters and showing feelers. Some of the dogs are coming in the ring, you can touch them. Some of them are very easy to touch. I'm sure some of the judges, college already stay inside the group and the interview can be agree with me. Some of them you can touch, but the correct examination about skin, ear set, tail set, and long tail and everything, I really recommend that always the handler do it that for the judge. Why? Because they are guard dogs. Her temperament never can be afraid. Never, never. So, yes, they can feel comfort inside the ring, they can feel relaxing inside the ring, but they always are alert. Always, always are alert. So, I always ask to the handler or the owner, I can touch. I need to believe in the answer. I need to believe in the answer. If the handler say yes, you can touch my dog, you need to know the way where you go over him. But I never have an accident. Never, never have an accident with a dog or a person with feelers. Never.
Yeah. So in general, similar like with Azavax, like you should be able to approach, but you should not touch too much.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, perfect.
Good for you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gabi, let's talk now a little bit. You have two breeds at home now. We will talk as the last breed. We will talk about your love of your life, and these are the Piccolos. Let's talk now a little bit about the Papillons. Since when you have the Papillons?
Well, I maybe I have a 2 liters in 30 something years, but I always need to have a papillon with me. Always, always. When I was a professional handler, I was looking for a papillon. I call people and say, I can show the dog free for you. And they laughing. You don't want money? I say, no, I don't want money. I just want to show your beautiful dog because you're making a disaster with that gorgeous dog in the ring. So always, always, I have a papillon in my life. Always. I'm import the first ones from Forever Papillons in the United States, Ruth and Ford, with my friend Leida Lucia Perez. We bring the first ones. We start to showings the dog with big, big winners, red and white dogs. The red and white have a different kind of coat and texture and everything, blah, 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 blah. And later we import a dog from Finland with a friend, and connection dog, who was a big successful in South America and winning shows Chile, Argentina, Colombia, everywhere. Also, he winning with his corner in the United States, the national, the Papillon National, Western Winners. It was a beautiful dogs. The last Papillon I have it, I import two, a couple from Japan. I can imagine my life out papillons. If I have an Italian Greyhound in the sofa, I need to have a papillon barking around.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me, Gabi, if you would be approached by somebody who is a judge and wants to start to judge the Papillons, how would you explain to him what are the most important features of the breed? How a perfect Papillon in your eyes should look like?
They need to look butterflies. This is very important. The head need to look like a butterfly. Is the essential, is the most important thing in the breed. And the coat texture, the silky coat texture, is also very important. I hate the biggest papillons with a lot of bones we see around, but also I hate the little mosquitoes. It looks like something between Chihuahua's long coat and papillons. You can find exactly what they're looking, right? But a medium dog with the good size, with enough body, with outgoing personality. I hate robots. I always say they are animals. Dogs are animals. So I hate robots. I hate that kind of dog who always need to be perfect.
Yeah.
They are animals. They need jumping in the ring. They need running in the ring. They need sometimes to make poop in the ring. They are animals. It's totally normal. And Papillon need to have that kind of jumper and attitude, our outgoing temperament. But yes, they need to look looking exactly like a butterfly.
Yeah.
For me, it's important the white leaves. I love to see the white leaves in the middle and the big ears with good insertion, not like that. The French is not like a real wings, like a real wings. I
Yeah.
love that.
And tell me, Gabi, you obviously have been judging papillons all around the world. What would you say that at the moment is the biggest problem of the breed?
Uh, I think the biggest difference, in the United States, you see dogs looks like I don't know what kind of dogs. Someone's give me a moment. Hakkinen. I know.
He was not happy about that.
He's screaming all day. I don't know why, but he's screaming all day. But you know, the biggest problem, the biggest problem is when you touch a papillon and you feel only bones, like nothing inside the coat. I hate that. You know, it's something really hard because they're Spaniels. They are continental Spaniels. They need to have a substance. They need to have a body, an attitude. I think this is the biggest problem. Tester, coat tester, you can fix it up. You know, you can touch, you can understand the difference, and you can fix it. But anyway, the biggest problem in the breed now, you see the two extreme, the biggest and heavy ones, and the smaller and skinny ones.
Yeah,
I think this is a big problem.
Yeah, this is unfortunately happening in many breeds, definitely. And to ask you another thing, when we are talking about papillons, are they a healthy breed? Do they live long? Do you find that they have?
Oh yes, they never die. You need to tell them because they never die. No, this is a bad job. No, they are very healthy breeds. You know, they are. It's the same. I think it's the same happened with the Italian Sihons. They are two very healthy breeds when you're doing in the good ways and you looking after and you and good taking care of them. Yes, yeah. I already have a papillon who passed away almost with 10 to 20 years older.
Amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah. And tell me then, my last question about papillons for you. If you would have the opportunity to change something in the FCI standard of the papillons, would you change something?
Oh, Ante, you give me problems. This is a bad question. Well, you know, these crazy things about teeth.
Okay.
Looking for teeth all the time. They need to be pretty. They need to look pretty. They need to look beautiful, right? But this situation, you need to open the mouth all the time and looking for each premolar and all the things. I think sometimes can be hard for a little dog. It happened with Chihuahuas and another small breeds. Some judges are very worried about this.
So you are not worried about it so much?
Stop it. I love to judge in Europe. No, it depends. It depends on the breed, but no, I'm not crazy for this. No, I'm not.
Okay, let's go now to Italian Greyhounds. This has definitely been, first of all, I suppose, the love of your life. Second of all, I think you have been most successful with them. You are world famous for your Italian Greyhounds.
Thank you.
I want to ask you first, how did your story with the Piccolos start? Why did you choose them? Where did you buy the first ones? How did it all start, and when?
You know, this was just a situation happening in my life. When I moved from Cuba to Colombia, I bought in Cuba in a big colonial house with a lot of rooms, a lot of space, a garden and everything. and I moved to Bogota in a little tiny room apartment. So I want to continue with Scions. I want to continue with the most elegant dogs I think so they are. So a friend of mine say, well, you can have a Spanish Greyhound anymore. You can have a Ross Collie anymore. So looking for something smaller. This is what I'm looking for, Italian Greyhounds. At the beginning, I called Italian Greyhound. We call it now in FCI Italian Scions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yes, my first Italian Greyhound at that time, born in Cuba, I was awful. I love him. I was a very bad dog. but I love that dog. And was the first dog I showing in the breed. Was the very first dog I showing in the breed 38 years ago. So at that time, I in love with that dog. But you know, your eyes going to some point. You born with that kind of eyes. Your eyes is looking for something. I say, this is wrong. This is too short tail. It's not elegant enough. The neck is too short. The eyes is more like Chihuahua. So this is not like a miniature of Scihound. So I start to looking in United States, of course, because Colombia, I already say to you the history between Colombia and AKC. And I'm looking around. Finally, I buy dogs in America. This is why my swimming pool in Piccolos Italiano are Americans. Yeah. This is why sometimes I write on Facebook on my post, why not particolors? This is not a kind of fighting with Italian people. I love the standard from Italy, and I feel a big respect for the Italian Greyhounds breeder in Italy, in Europe, and everywhere. But sometimes I think, why not particolor? But I know the question already. Why not? Because it's Italian standard, it's Italian breeds, and Italian breeders say, no, they are solid. And I agree with that. You know, both standards between particolor dogs and solid dogs have a biggest difference in size, in movements, in contusion. It's not only in colors. Why I think that Da Vinci's bloodlines doing in some successful, because in long time I tried to fix it. I tried to doing a salad between the two types. Sometimes was good, sometimes was wrong, like everything in our life. But I think I already have it, the good point from two different dogs in the breed, two different types, and mix it. I think my dogs are beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Tell me, I want to ask you. You were speaking now a little bit about how they look like, but the same question like I had for the Papillon. If you would need to explain to somebody what are the most important features of the Piccolos, what would you say? How the perfect one should look like?
They are Piccolos. They need to be smaller. I think this is important, and many judges forgot that. Never need to look like mosquitoes. Never need to look like a smaller, ugly dogs with long legs. No, never. They are smaller Scions, but they need to look smaller. And I hate when somebody come to me in the ring and say, "Oh, she's afraid. Oh, she is so nervous." And it's already a class dog. It's not a puppy. Just living in the house. He's a pet. Sadly, he doesn't have the temperament to be a show dog. Because a good Italian Scion, he's never afraid. Never. They're hunters. They're running. Yeah. They're looking for something to kill. Right? Yeah. So they don't need to be afraid dog over the table. You know, sometimes they don't need to move the tail.
This is true, yes. This is true. Many times we see Italian Greyhounds who are a little bit like afraid, and it seems that a lot of judges tolerate it.
No, I think so. This is a bad thing in the breed, and some European breeders only thinking in the color and breeding about the color and forget about the temperament. And temperament, for me, temperament is everything in every single breed. Sometimes when I judge, I may be wrong, you know, I am a breed judge. This is too much to say. I think this is very big argument to you say to everybody, I'm a breed judge. Bullshit, you know. This is too big definition. But from my point of view, when I have a dog in my ring, I can see the most perfect dog, the most close dog to the standard, but an idiot without charming, without class, without temperament. So many times I put on in the front, never a mediocre dog, but a dog with less quality with the right temperament. For that breed, I don't need a Labrador who looks like a shepherd. I don't need to see a Papillon who looks like a Japanese Shin. No way. But temperament is also very important, and it's a big problem in Piccolos right now. Curvies. I like curvy dogs. For me, they need to be curvies, not like camels. Please, not like camels, but yes, they need to look curvy with enough angulation in back and front. I don't want to see the dog like this, you know, with nothing here. No, they need to have a sternum, a heart, and ribs.
Yeah, that's nice to hear from you, Gabi. I want to ask you. We have touched a little bit the subject of the color. What is interesting for me? Where do these party colors come from? Because obviously in Italy they don't have them. Where did they come from? History wise.
Now, many years ago, in every European country, they have Piccolos party colors. It's easier. If somebody want to go to the Hermitage and see some of the porcelain from Catherine the Great, they have a party color dogs. And they made from Rosenthal, the artist, his own dogs, and they was party color. I was 400 years ago, something, right? So many European countries, France, Italy, they have party colors. They have party colors everywhere. And also in the United States, the AKC standard don't say nothing wrong about solid dogs. They can have a solid dogs. It's allowed to have a solid dogs, but also it's allowed to have a white in the dog. Too much. Too much white in the dog, and I agree with this. But everyone's have a party color dogs. Italian people, my Italian friends, talk to me all the times about that. And again, I want to say, for me, is right. They need to be solid because I breeding Italian Scihounds. I don't breeding Italian Greyhounds because they call in America Italian Greyhounds, and in other countries they call it Italian Greyhounds because they breeding that type of dogs. I call it Italian Scihound because my dogs also come from FCI pedigrees, so they are Italian Scihounds. But this is the biggest difference. But anyway, I just want to open the eyes for many of my friends in Europe. Many of the party color dogs looks like beautiful Italian Scihounds with white markings. Many of them.
I want to ask you, Gabi. For example, Brazil is obviously a country which is a member of the FCI. When you get a party color Italian Sighthound, can you normally get the pedigree for it by the Brazilian Kennel Club? And can you show it? Can you show it in the show in Brazil?
No, we can't register. We cannot register because sadly we don't have that kind of pedigree. You can register by pet quality and you can register for breeding dog. No, we not have it. I would love to have it because sometimes I have it in some of my bloodlines, party color puppies, in some of my breeding, some of my litters. So they need to be neutered. Or they going to pet homes because we can't register and never,
you cannot show
never them. Never. never. I already saw
Okay.
from another breeder, they came to the ring with a dog with a little more white or a little more the biggest white. But listen, if not a cassette show, and it's a national show, and it's a beautiful dog, why not? You can give it the national point. Why not? Why not? It's not a marking everywhere. It's just a little more white, like the standard wanted, right?
Yeah.
But no, we can show it
Okay.
and we can.
We have a lot of comments coming all the time, Gabi, and I'm trying just from time to time to read some of them. You have mentioned when you were talking about Italian sighthounds. Here is Vilmar Rosales saying, "I remember how did you started with the Italian sighthounds. I remember you were saying that you love them so much because the breed it's like a living porcelain. This you said
Yes,
already."
they are.
Our friend from Sweden, Hakan Hali, thank you for talking about our lovely breed, Italian Greyhounds. Karian Jakobsen is asking something that I also wanted to ask you because it's quite specific and I think it's very difficult to understand for many judges. What do you think about Piccolo's movement and what the variety standards say? The movement of the Italian sighthound is quite specific. How they should move.
They are unique. They are unique. I know things another breed can move like them. You know, I always calling this type of movement 3 1/4. You know, 3 o'clock and quart. Because if you look at a watch, it's like a 3 o'clock and quart, right?
Yeah.
This is the highest step in the front. This is the highest step in the front with big side gate. They need to have a big extension in the front. It's not something hackney can be never allowed in the breed. And some of them, many of them right now, move like in the same place. Some friends, some breeders, some judges say you're running too much. I need running with my dogs, of course, not running like an Australian Shepherd, but I need to move my legs because they go in the front. They have a high step in the front and extension, and reach and drive. This is very important. Never can be higher in the front. Never can be higher in the front because they locks the right movement. They locks the right side gate, the right view of the breed. And this is very important because they are unique. They are really unique in that kind of movement.
Yeah.
Sidehounds don't need to running around, right? They don't need to running, and the handler don't need to push them. They need to have a natural and free movement. Is it very important? This is the only part of that dog you can see how good he is in contortion. I remember when I talked with my mentor, Max Magder, from Lodybrook Kennel in Canada, Max always say, Gab, he always called me Gab. Gab, remember in the standard when you have the dog in the front of you, look at him. He is the standard, what the standards say or not. This is the first point you need to consider about. Movement come after that. But in sidehounds, it's very important when you're running around. This is the way when you need to look in and take time. I hate when the judging is so fast, so fast, so fast. I hate that. You need to. I know some shows are quickly. Someone you can be more relaxed and give more time to the exhibitor and the dog. But it's very important when you see when they move in the front of your eyes because he can get more value in your own opinion. I think so.
Yeah,
Remember, this is my point of view. This is only my point of view.
Yeah. Don't worry. Nobody's going to crucify you for your point of view. It's not a
I hope not. I hope not.
Yes, we like to talk with. I like to talk with people, and I like to see, when people are writing comments, and it's always interesting, this kind of discussion, especially about breeds, for example, like Italian Sidehounds, which are specific, which are different, which are not, so normal breeds like many others. For example, like a lot of people have problems to understand the Molosser breeds because they are so different. So it's always
Absolutely.
very.
Absolutely. You can imagine somebody who's showing Italian Greyhounds before in Group 2, winning a group with the Fila Brasileiro with 85 kilos. It's a big, big difference, believe me.
Yeah,
And talk about the beginning, when you asked to me about the beginning of my breeding, it's nothing to be glamorous or important. I'm not famous. I'm just a dog person who cleaning poop and breeding nice dog.
Yeah.
Listen, this is very important. I'm nobody. I just Gabriel for people that know my friends and Gabby for friends like you are. So
Yeah.
I just want to say, for my first litter, I keep the 4 puppies. The 4 puppies winning a best in shows in the biggest international shows in my area. And I just want to mention something very important, and I think is Andrew Gray's fault because he gave to my beautiful Carmela her very first best in show in international show. She already winning best in show before in a national show, but international show was Andrew. He gave me that unforgettable day 33 years ago.
He will be happy to hear, I'm sure, about that.
He knows already.
Let me just read few of the comments. Marian is saying you are so right with temperament. Dog should have that and courage to show it. Andrea Haider saying thank you so much to measure a good temperament. It's quite important. Bite Arens Primavera is saying so true, Gabi, very important with good temperaments in Italian Sidehounds. We see many spoiled or afraid dogs in the rings, not to be confused with normal, noble, and little reserved characters, but they must never be afraid. Diane Anderson is saying such a wonderful way with the words and the personality like none other. So there are a lot of people writing. Doug Locken is saying so lovely to listen to such a wonderful and dedicated person. Juan Gutierrez Martinez is saying a dog is not a statue. They need to move. They need to jump. Best commentary. Abrazo, Gabriel. Zafra Sirik is saying great description of the movement and thank you for reminding dear late Max Magder. Tamas Yakel is saying, let me see. I need to open it. The movement of a sidehound is not only a part of the breed type, but also their personality and character. The individual character of a sidehound has to shine out by itself. Every generic handling takes this important feature away from that particular dog. Gabriel is a great handler for Italian sidehounds to let them shine. So a nice compliment from the FCI president.
This is a big compliment. This is a very big compliment. Yes. You know, when you asked me about the last show I showed with my dogs, was at that beautiful show in Peru.
We can talk later about that, Gabi, because we are going to show the photo so people can also see it. I want to ask you about piccolos. When you compare the piccolos that you started with 30 some years ago with the piccolos of today, did the breed change a lot, and is it changing in a good direction, or you think that the dogs from the past were a little bit better than the dogs of today?
You asked to me in general, or you asked to me about
in general? In general,
I think in general, from my point of view, they was better in the past.
Okay, why?
Yeah, something the breeders respect a lot in the past was size. I think was a very important. I remember the first shows I going around in Europe, I think inside myself, they are really piccolos. They are really smallers. Because of course, I show my dogs at the specialties in the United States. I show my dogs at the nationals in the United States. I show my dogs in Westminster, at the garden and everything. And they look a little more bigger, a little more bumps. When I start to looking around, I don't show my dogs too much in Europe, But when I visit the shows, when I going to enjoy the dog shows in European countries, I already thinking in the 80s and the 70s, yes, they are smaller. They are really smaller. I love that dog when I saw the curves. This is something I fascinated with the curves in the Italian Sihons in the past. Right now, you see many of them with the rear down her body, but they're not really curves. They just have a bad rear, right?
Yeah.
And they're winning a lot. They finish the titles, but now it's not good. The rear is down the body. The temperament was also better in the past, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, sorry.
Yeah, continue. I wanted
So,
just to tell you when you're talking about that, also because obviously you are comparing them to the dogs from the past, but also you are judging the breed all the time. The same what I ask you about the Papillons. What do you think at the moment is the biggest problem of the breed?
in Papillons,
No, in the Italian Sighthounds.
the size.
Size.
Yeah, I saw huge dogs in the champion class, and they finish. This is very sad. Dogs with 41 centimeter, 42, 40. This is very sad. I never, I don't care if it's already champion. Somebody make a mistake before myself, but I never put up a big dog. Never put up a big dog.
Okay, tell me about the health of the Italian Sighthounds. Are they a healthy breed?
Well, the breed can be a bit more popular. They are smaller, easy to looking after. Not everybody can have a big place now to live in, so they can be more popular and more popular. And especially in Brazil right now, it's like an epidemic. Everybody want to breed in Italian Greyhound for sale for a good money because São Paulo is a huge city and apartments is everywhere. So yes, we get a lot of healthy problems right now. Beer,
what kind of
dogs?
Yeah.
Dogs who can see with 6 months old, dogs without colors, without pigments, dogs without hair, because maybe blue color are more popular and people want to pay more money for blue. And breeding blue by blue by blue and never introducing the black and never introducing a different color. And finally, they got dogs like Charles Squinkles with no coat. So I saw a few years ago in Sweden some blue dogs with no coat, no hair in the body. I was in shock because it was in winter time. In winter some dogs lost hair, but it's not like that. It's dog like elephant skin. With dogs with alopecia, it's dog with no hair because they coming from blue and blue breeding all time, blue by blue by blue, because it's a deliberate color. You need to introduce all the time. And now I saw in Russia, I just calling Russia because happening a dog show in Russia. It's just an example. It's nothing between Russian breeding, right? I just want to clarify. It's nothing between Russian breeders. I feel a big respect for some friends who are doing a great job in Russia, but I saw a patellas problem in piccolos in Russia. I'm not that officially, but I almost finished in the university, but I not got the certificate. I can see they have patellas problems, but I saw when they move. I never tried to fix it up. I'm moving now. I never touched like this. I don't want to have an accident in the rain. You can imagine.
Yeah.
Like
of course.
Some judges do it like this with the Yorkie, some pug and French bulldog. No way. I don't want to do that. Never. But when they moved, you saw the track, and it's a patellas problem, right? Because they want to be more smaller, less bone, less substance, and they're changing everything. Sadly, very sadly.
Okay, then the last question about piccolos for tonight from my side is the same like I had before. If you could change something in the FCI standard, would you change something?
I want to be party-colored dogs. I want to look party-colored dogs in the FCI. Yeah, this is a personal dream. I just want to say again, it's nothing between colors, right? I don't want to criticize. I don't want nobody hate me. You know, I'm the kind of people who always looking for love, right?
Yeah.
This is the way in my life. I hate enemies. We get enemies, you know, but the way in my life is always looking for love, for people who remember me in good ways. But I want to see a little more watercolor in the Piccolo's standard. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Maybe one day your wishes will become true.
I don't know. I don't want to discuss about that. I don't want to discuss
No,
about that.
of course.
I just want to say something. When because it's an interview by me, so I can talk about my own dogs. I remember when Joconda, my bitch, started winning a lot. She finished a top dog here in Brazil. Some FCI judges don't give it excellent to her because she is kind of red color. And if you're looking inside the standard, the Italian standard, they never mention the red, right? But because they are so strict, they're very skewed in the definition of the color. So the people, some judges say yes, she is solid, but she is red. But I always say it was my defense. She's not red like a mini pin. She's a dark Isabella, right? Because yes, I think she's a dark Isabella, but not red. But yes, I have some bad moments on some European judges with her.
Yeah. This happens when, especially I in many of my interviews when I talk about people in many breeds, we come to this point, you know, that they say that the colors are not described as good enough, and that there are. We were talking last Wednesday with Henrik Frickstrand about Goldens also. Also, there is always a lot of talking about color. Should they be?
It's a big discussion.
Very light?
It's a big discussion. I remember when I judged the last time in California, many people come to my ring with dogs they import from Europe because they are very light, right?
Yeah.
And they're not winning because they're not good, not only for the color. And some beautiful lady can be say, I import my dog from Europe. I think you're FCI. He can win under you. I say, yes, but he's a pet.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of kennel you import your dog, but he's a pet, no matter the color. It's quality.
Obviously, yeah. There is a comment of Wilmar Rosales saying, "I do love the party colors too. Temperament, type, structure are more important than color. Your foundation stock was fantastic. I remember Carmela, Uno, Grace, and many others, and one very special, Tia Maria." Simon Burton is saying, "What an eloquent speaker Mr. Valdez is as a sighthound lover and a judge." And a hobby artist myself, I have found a new kindred spirit. This is such a great listen. Thank you. Sergio Amian is saying, love to see the great passion that take you out of your country and away from your family. I know it's not easy, but you still have it. I respect that. Anna Sabo is saying, Gabi, wonderful man, wonderful dog person, a real dog person, loving friend, miss you. Tamas Shakel is saying that is an old saying for sighthound people. A good sighthound has no color. So there is a lot of comments. Fabienne Becker is saying, thank you for sharing so many wise words on our breed, who should inspire many newcomers. Nice to hear your passion. So there are a lot of comments. I will try to catch on some of them later. But now, yes.
Sorry, it's sighthounds. They are hunters. No matter the size, no matter where they come, right? They're hunters. Yeah. Here is a big house, it's a big farm. You know, Brazil is almost in the middle of the jungle. We have many kind of wild animals in our gardens. So here we have monkeys. They come in some days in the mornings because they want to take some fruits of the tree. My cash dogs, my oldest girl who is sleeping in my bed with me, they want to kill him. And sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Sometimes they
Yeah.
fly and take a monkey and kill him. A small monkey, of course. Happened the same with the toucans, with the macaws. They killing everything the way they do because they are hunter dogs. Science are hunters. And when you see all these hunting dogs in the group 10, and you're looking in the history, color never was important. Never was important.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, there are a lot of people who share your opinion. So let's see what is going to happen with that. Before I ask you, Gabi, some of my quick questions, which are usually the most difficult for my guests, I see during the interview that my Instagram is sending me reports that people are putting and tagging the story. So keep on coming. Please put a photo of the screen that you're watching the interview, put it in your Instagram story and tag me. I will be happy to share it later. It's always nice to see later on how many people are watching these interviews from all around the world, obviously. So let's do the quick questions, Gabi. Which show you consider for the moment to be the highlight of your judging career? Now it starts to be difficult.
This is a good question. From my point of view, and listen to me, it's nothing between FCI. It's nothing. I'm nobody in FCI, right? I'm not working any committee. I don't have a kind of club. It's nothing about FCI. And he is our president. But I think Mr. Tamajako, he's the person who represented everything, the complete packet, the full packet in somebody who represented our group, our community.
Yeah.
And for me, he's one of the most important judges right now.
Yeah, but it was a question, Gabi, show that you would say that it's a highlight of your judging career. One show that one experience of yours.
Was in Lima. Was the last show when we showing Joconda there.
Yeah.
Believe me, from American judges, Mike Pickle was winning a lot of Best in Show. Also, I remember a great dog show. Oh, I make a mistake. I'm sorry, I make a mistake. After that show, I show in Joconda in our biggest show in Sao Paulo. Was very short time between one show in Lima and that show in Sao Paulo. And one of my favorite dog person in the world, Jose Homme de Melo. Also our Joconda Best in Show in a beautiful lineup, a beautiful, outstanding lineup of dogs in Sao Paulo. And that Best in Show made me cry, believe me, because I know who is in our hobby, in our sport. And he's somebody who comes from Basset. It's a totally different mind in dogs and structure and construction. But that day in Lima, when Mr. Jackal called the last dog in the lineup, in a beautiful lineup, because I know some people in Europe say, oh, everybody can win investing show in South America. Some shows have 100 dogs. Yeah, that's true. Some dog show have 100 dogs. But Ante, believe me, in the best in show, the 10 group winners, they are almost all the time outstanding dogs in our countries. And that dog show in Lima, yes, was 600 dogs. It's not the biggest show compared to the dog shows in Europe, but at that time, I can feel my legs. I can stand up with Joconda in my arms because I know how everything that man represented in our era. And I remember when I start in the dog war, the president of FCI always is like an icon. He's like a god. we never can touch, we never can talking, because we live in another side of the continent. For you, for in the world, for you are different. You're born in Europe.
Yeah.
You have FCI in Europe, right? So it's more easier
Yeah.
for FCI people, for people who live in FCI countries, who live in the continent. You got more access to the people on board of the committee, whatever. But for us in South America, at the beginning of the history, at the beginning of all these South American countries came to be a members of FCI, it is totally different, the sensation and everything. Yes, it was very emotional at that day. I don't remember the last time when I cried in a dog show. That night I cried. I remember exactly the words I said to him. In 38 years of breeding, I never feel like tonight. So yes, maybe because related with my history in that night, with the breed of my heart. But for me, he represented everything. He's somebody who has dogs. He's somebody who breeding dogs. I don't care what the people say. If he's showing some time, if he uses a handler, I don't care. People all the time talk. People love to talk. This is why we are
That's
humans.
true.
Because we talk, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
people always talk, and also talk a lot about myself. But this is good. But with
Yeah.
nobody talk about you, you are nothing, baby. So
Yeah,
this
that's
is
true.
very important when somebody talk about yourself. But yes, he is the judge. He
Yeah.
is the judge.
You know how they say even a bad publicity is a publicity. So that's
You're
like
right,
it.
baby. It's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tell me, Gabi, what would you say is the favorite Italian sidehound of all times for you, not bred or owned by you?
Oh, I showing dogs from somebody else. I don't care.
No.
Of course.
No, I'm asking you one Italian sidehound from somebody else, which was not bred or owned by you, that you remember, let's say, as the best example of the breed that you admired.
Oh, this is a beautiful question. Last year. No, year before. I lost in the time. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I lost.
no worries.
I lost the beautiful Saihon Festival in Germany, the famous the Hansen, right? The entry in Italian Saihon was beautiful. Was beautiful. I put up for best of breed a beach who really have the complete packet, the complete packet. She born in Sweden from Peace Kennel. She living in Holland right now. If I can remember, her name is Peace Lyrica.
Mm-hmm.
She is outstanding. She is just outstanding.
Okay. What would you say, Gabi, is the best dog you ever bred?
I think Yoconda. Yeah.
Yoconda.
Yeah, I think Yoconda.
And
she had mistakes. Thanks God, because I can have her more puppies. Thanks God. But she's more the complete type. Yeah.
Okay. What would you say was the most exciting dog that you showed as a professional handler? So not one of your dogs, but one dog that you showed as a handler.
Oh my
Which
goodness.
one is the?
Easier to remember. Napoleon do Caudillo, the biggest freelance Brasileiro I ever see in my life, and he winning in my hands 65 best in shows in many countries. Yeah, he was unforgettable for me, for my memories.
Yeah. One breed that you never had at home and you would like to have.
English Bulldog.
English Bulldog. Okay.
Yeah. I think so.
That's an interesting choice. Tell me, Gabi, one dog person who is not alive anymore and you terribly miss.
Sorry, remember. Ask it to me again. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose the battery, so I'm looking for the church. Say to me again.
One dog person who is not alive anymore and you terribly miss?
Carmela, my small Italian greyhound. I lost her. I
No, a
lost her.
person. Dog
Oh,
person.
a person. A dog
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
A dog person. Oh, okay. Max Magder, my mentor.
Okay.
Every day.
Okay.
I miss him every day.
Tell me, Gabi, you obviously know a lot of people and a lot of people who are good breeders, a lot of people who are involved in different breeds. If you would need to point out one breeder from South America who has always impressed you with the quality of his dogs, and one breeder from the rest of the world, which two breeders you would say, let's say, that for you are example of true quality breeders?
Easier, like that. Carlos Pedroso from Tres Piñeros Kennel, Wire Dachshund. For me, is the best we have in South America. In another side of the wall, Viteares.
And from the rest of the world?
Viteares from Sober's Kennel.
Okay, she will be happy to hear. I'm sure she
They
will.
are. They are the best. They are the best.
I want to ask you one thing. If you were invited, for example, to go to judge somewhere very far, I don't know what is far for Brazil, New Zealand or something, and let's say you need to judge 10 days, 10 shows in a row, and they say you can bring with you 5 judges from anywhere in the world to go there and spend these 10 days with you and judge together with you. Which 5 judges would you bring with you?
They need to be alive?
Yes, let's say they need to be alive.
It's not the easier question.
I know.
It's not. Okay, I already say that. Thomas Jackal.
Okay.
It's one of the bunch.
Jose
Home de Melo. He need to be in the packet. He need to be in the packet.
3 more.
Tina Tolos. She is fabulous in all ways, and she knows dogs. She knows dogs.
Okay. 4.
Another important one. Another important one. Oh my goodness. Complicated.
Yes. I only like complicated questions.
Complicated question. You know, our president, Fabio Morin, is an incredible dog person.
Okay.
And he has incredible eyes. And Ramon Podesta from Chile.
Wonderful.
They are my 5 top judges.
Wonderful. That would be a nice trip, that's for sure. Gabi, if you would need to thank 5 people in your life for becoming what you are today, doesn't matter if they are still alive or they are not alive, which 5 people you would thank?
I need to have with me Tina Tolos.
Okay.
I'm asking you
if let's say 5 people who helped you the most in your life to become what you are today in dogs.
Sorry.
If they are alive.
I getting nervous because the battery is almost down, so I looking for charging always. I don't know what happened with this stupid thing. I want to fix it at one moment.
Fix it.
You know, I have a good friend who calling Jane Forsyth. She was a great American judge, a great boxer breeder, a great lady in all ways. I am missing her a lot every day. Max Magder was my mentor. The people who showed me the way to breeding Scihound, the guy who showed me the way to judging a dog. He showed me the way to touch a dog and looking inside my mind for a dog. Zoila Portuondo, this Cuban lady who's sensitive about art, theaters, movies, dogs, history. She is a very important person. and she is in my memories all the time. Many things I do it every day in my life come from her. Many things, and I need two more, right?
Yes, two more.
Two more. I have a good friend in Colombia who already passed away, Morgan Jones. He was a good friend, a really good friend, Rhodesian Ridgeback breeder, and I miss him a lot. I just want to live in 4.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Tell me, Gabi, this is another difficult question, and I don't need the name of the dog. You can say which dog show it was and which breed it was, but one dog that you judged, any breed, that you will never forget.
Easier, a greyhound. A greyhound female.
Okay.
But I can say the name.
Tell me the name.
Sober Ginger.
Okay. Bita will be happy again.
Sometimes I close my eyes, I remember her running around in the front of mine. I don't want to lose that moment. She comes all the time.
Yeah, wonderful. Gabi, if you were offered to judge 3 national specialties in the USA in the breeds of your choice, which would they be?
3 ones.
3 national specialties in USA, for which breeds you would like to judge?
Italian Greyhounds, Japanese Chinks, and Papillons.
Wonderful. Another theoretical question. If, for example...
Why theoretical question? Why all the time theoretical questions?
Yeah,
sorry, I need to put on the battery. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
No worries. Take your time and fix it. So it's done.
Sorry, I changed the position. I hope
no
nobody
problem.
wants to help me.
Don't worry.
Good.
Okay, perfect. If you would, for example, tomorrow stop to breed Italian Greyhounds and Papillons and you give all your dogs away, and in 5 years you want to start again, to which kennel you would go to buy Italian Sighthound and to which kennel you would go to buy a Papillon? I think Beltran, that we lost Gabi, something has freeze. I don't know what has happened. Okay, he's writing. Try to call him again. The battery is gone, he says. Yeah. If you are watching, stay with us a little bit more. Can you just, Beltran, write to Gabi that no problem, that we will wait for him to put the battery on again? Yes. Okay, but can I say to the people just to wait? Okay, so they hear me. Okay, sorry for the little technical. Yes, no problem. Sorry for a little problem. Gabi was sent a message that he got without battery on the iPad that he was using, so he has put it now to charge, and he is ready again. We are going to put him in the call in any second. So just wait a few seconds, and he will be back with us. Okay. Jordi say Gabi was shocked by your questions, so he froze. Maybe, yes. He found a good way to escape my difficult questions, like, oh, I got without battery, bye-bye. Okay, soon we are going to have him back. Okay, he is saying I'm back in Skype, so Beltran is trying to call him, and soon we should have him back with us. Let's see. I think soon we will have. In the meantime, as I said, I can always ask to all of you. Yes, Ruth Thompson is saying he needs more time to think of an answer. In the meantime, you can always make a photo of your screen and put it in your Instagram story. Tag me. Gabi is back with us. Hello, Gabi.
Hello, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, don't worry. I can tell you that all the people are waiting for you. Nobody left. Everybody was waiting for you. So we can, people were saying that my questions were too difficult. So you have just said, "Oh, I'm out."
Too difficult. I lost the battery. I lost the battery.
Okay. So I repeat my last question for you, Gabi. If, for example, you would decide to stop breeding the dogs and you give all your dogs away, and in 5 years you want to start again, to which kennel you would go to buy a first Papillon, and to which kennel you would go to buy a first Piccolo to start again breeding?
Oh, shit. Okay.
Many people say the same word.
Okay. If I want to start, if I want to have it a Papillon, I want to have another fantasy Papillon from Japan, from that kennel. Okay.
Okay.
Fantasy Areyoki is the same breeder for the dogs I have now.
Okay.
Good heart.
And the
good heart. I want, in my life, I want good people around. Good people. I don't care the rest in the humans, but I want good people close to me. And he's a good people, and he knows Papillon, and he's a good breeder. And definitely, I want to have it as Sober's Italian Greyhound.
Piccolo. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, and then the last one of the difficult questions. If you could improve one thing in your Piccolos, in your breeding, what would you like to improve?
In my own breeding?
Yes.
So sometimes I want a better movement in the front in my dogs. Yes, okay. I think they need to have a better reach in front. This is what I look at years. But when I'm breeding, when I want to introduce, I lost things. So I got the dog with the right reach and drive, but I lost the personality, the showmanship, character, temperament, and hound greyhound face. I love that expression in my dogs. They look exactly like miniature greyhounds, and I love it. I love that.
Yeah. Okay. Now a little bit easier questions for you, Gabi. Do you know how many Da Vinci champions you have bred till now?
Over 100 for sure. Over 100 because yes, I have at a party in Colombia. Many of my Colombian friends I can be remember for sure. But I have over 100 champions. Well, when I call you champions, can be the same dog who finished different. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me when you have mentioned it now a little bit about that, but I want to talk a bit more because you are a very successful breeder. When you decide that you want to have a litter, how do you choose the parents for your next litter? What are you looking for? Do you look how they look like? Do you look the pedigrees? How do you decide which to mate with which male?
I always looking what their similar are. This is my first impression when I'm thinking in a breeding. I need to put on two very similar dogs. I know breeding is a 50% of good luck and a 50% abilities. Everything you have in your mind about the breed, right? But I prefer two individuals with a very similar characteristics to be together for a future breeding plans. Yes, of course.
And how?
Pedigree. I look in pedigree all time. But in my personal opinion, in my personal case, when I'm looking for type, I get a better dogs.
Yeah. And tell me, when you are doing your breeding, did you sometimes use very close inbreeding? Do you usually line breed your dogs? How much do you use complete outcrossing? What has proved to be the best for you?
Look, Ante, this is very funny. I never breeding a good male. I
Okay.
never breed a good male. What I'm looking for in a male, I never that dog. Never. So the binches successful, they come from the girls. All time
Okay.
from the all time. This is yes, it's something very funny, but always come from the girl size. So naturally, I try to put on all the best part of that beaches of all these girl to looks more similar in the future, right? More similar. But
Yeah.
I never got a male really what I wanted. So normally many of my dogs coming from line breeding. Many
Yeah.
of them. Many of
Yeah.
them. In my girls' bloodlines, what I call it Da Vinci's girl, right? All these Da Vinci's girl. When I introduce a dog from somebody else, or when I introduce a dog from outside, never doing right. Never. So I always try to working with all the boys I have it. But I have 28 dogs now. It's not a big number because they never pass away. So I have very older dogs, right? Very older dogs. So I always try to use the same dogs I have it. Today in the morning, I talked with a friend of mine from Israel, who is a very clever guy in the breed, very clever guy. He understands very well about pedigrees, and I always talk with him. I need a dog, and I need a dog who looks more like Da Vinci's type. And this
Yeah.
is something hard to find it, right? Because my dogs, Da Vinci's dogs, they don't look very European.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is why of the
So
people.
because you said in the beginning you were trying a little bit to mix the
I do,
European and the
I
American.
do, I do. And I know some of my detractors, some of the people who don't like my dogs say they're not Italian Scions. They looks like a smaller whippet, or they looks like a smaller another dog, but they're not Piccolos Italianos. Some people say that. Yeah, I nobody to try to refuse that. For me, they
Yeah.
are because they are sound. Something very important for me. They need to be sound. I hate it when you see dogs move like this, like a samba. This is
Yeah.
awful. This is awful, right? This is absolutely awful. I want when I put my dog over the table, they look at the judge like they say, "I have a dog. I'm a dog. You can touch
Yeah.
me, whatever." I don't want a dog who's jumping over my shoulder. Never, never.
Yeah.
I had dog like that, and I'm sure I have it in the past year. I never go in the ring with that dog, never.
Yeah.
So yes, I want to continue to showing and breeding what they have it at home. But for sure, I need something better. I need some dogs from outside to can introduce maybe more international looking. Yes,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to call international looking.
Yeah. Tell me, when you have a litter, in which age usually you look your puppies, and when do you decide, let's say, which puppy you will keep for yourself? And in general, in a puppy, what is the most important thing for you when you decide you want to keep a puppy?
Before 3 months old, they are ready. They are ready. In that week, when they finish with 3 months, they are ready to look in what you wanted to keep or when you want to go out to sending away, right?
Yeah.
Temperament, temperament, temperament. We
Yeah.
already keep from our last litter Da Vinci's Black Pearl. She's nice. She's really a nice bitch, but the temperament is something gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
She's something gorgeous. She's clean. She's a smile. All the time look at me like a smile. She's very smart in mind.
Yeah.
Everything. And she's just 3 months old. She's jumping from her stand, she's going to the bed, doing pee pee and poop and come back to the bed. You know, she had brain.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you have a dog with brain.
Yeah, that's true. It's always easier when you have a dog with a brain.
Absolutely.
Makes the life easier. Yeah. I want to ask you, Gabi, you have been a professional handler for almost 30 years.
I pay my
Tell us, yes, tell us a little bit about that part of your life. How difficult it was to be a professional handler, to work with different breeds, and actually, why did you stop?
Well, I think I stopped when nobody paid me anymore after I get my license, right? And this was a big fighting with the Colombian Kennel Club before I leave Colombia, before I left Colombia, because I had the breeding of the Fila Brasileiro with me, and the dogs I campaign, the dogs I showing, they live with me, they are my name, but many people are not comfort about that because I already have some groups to judge, and I coming inside the ring, and the dogs winning, and they say this is a shame, this is a blame, because why they showing dog is a judge. He's judging a day before with the same judge. He came to the show under him. You know, they can be a big discussion, right? But at the beginning, when I arrived in Brazil, in Colombia, my first job was a pet shop. I grooms dog in a pet shop. I working for a half salary, half money, because I don't have a papers, and I washing dogs all day. I grooming dogs all day, and was 2 years old, 2 years, completely 2 years working at that time. Later, I meet somebody who was very influenced in my life in the fashion, in 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 the world fashion in Colombia, and I start to working for the runway with the Ferragamo and Gucci, and I stay 10 years working with all this kind of fashion and supermodels and everything. And I continue with my dogs. So sometimes I can go to dog shows and everything, and people want to show with dogs. I start to get more money about that. Nobody teaching me, nobody say to me, I never go to seminary, I never go to nothing. I just go in the ring. I use it the same clothes as I use it in my regular life and just show with the dog. All these kind of expertise and things who come in my mind to put the hands like that, to doing like this. It's just I look at the picture, I say, well, this is a smooth terrier, and this is the picture with somebody who won in Montgomery. I need to do like this. I'm looking for that. I look at the picture and I start to do it. With the Scottish, it's also your beautiful breeds. I show with that dogs who come from the United States or somebody already knows. I start to take out the code and give it the rolling and the maintaining and everything. But nobody teaching me. Just come from me. I'm very curious all the time. I'm very curious. I know my English is not the best, but I never studied English in my life. Never. You know why? I understand English? Because at the beginning, when I'm reading this Italian Greyhound from America, I'm going to show my dogs in the United States, and nobody called me inside the ring. So they start to call the class dogs, and I stay out. And these ladies who showing dogs, they after finish the competition, this old lady say to me, "Oh, this is a pretty bitch, but you know, go inside the competition. They call you all the time, but nobody call me." So the stupid in Cuba who don't understand one word in English spend a lot of money and stay in the ring with the Italian Greyhound, holding the Italian Greyhound and never go in, never. So they, this is no good. I need to understand English. So when I start to understand English, this is the same way when I start to handling dogs and grooming dogs. I always hate in my life all extremes. So for example, when I groom golden retriever, my golden never looks like a grooming dogs in American way. Never. They lose grooms, but natural, normally. Mm-hmm. Always when I'm showing Pomeranian, thanks God, Pomeranians, they are more natural now. But I remember when I showed Pomeranian 30-something years ago, they are like little bonsais. They have all this performance with the scissors and everything. That looks beautiful. My Pomeranian have a coat, but many people criticize like way. But I love it. I always do like. So this is what I do. I showing working dogs. I showing Rottweilers with my pink jacket and flower paint. So you can imagine a gay guy who dressing like a fashionable and go inside the ring with this all these heavy boys with a lot of tattoo and everything. And I have a blonde hair, a big top head with Rottweiler and shoulder white, like a beautiful sculptor. I'm winning the breed with 100 something Rottweilers. You know, this is make it crazy to many people. The same with Filas. I use it colors. And when I arrived in Colombia, the Colombian people, I remember in Bogota, Bogota was very dark in winter. People always used it black, brown. And you know, the Cuban guy coming in the ring with the orange jacket with white pants. He just is a little confused. And many people criticize myself. Many people call me like, look at this stupid gay man. But I do. I made it, 10 dogs of the year in Colombia in that way. I'm proud of this. I'm very proud of this.
So you have bring colors to Colombia.
I bring colors to the rings. I bring colors to many people's life. And this is what I want to do.
Great.
This is the way I want. I don't want everybody to remember like a famous judge. No, I'm not. You know, the people want to, I want the people to remember like a friend, a true man, a true person. I'm not an actor. I never take a shower in the morning, use a hair dry and spray and put the tail and say, I'm a judge. No, I'm Gabriel. If I use it hair spray and everything, it's because I would love to use it. But I'm Gabriel. This is the person I want to show to everybody, the real human being. Nothing else.
That's great. That's great. I will go just shortly back because we have a question from Anna Filipova from Russia, who says you are an amazing person, so interesting to listen your opinion about Italian Sighthounds, but you have another breed at home, and she's asking you what I have asked you about the Piccolos. Do you think that the Papillons were better in the past or they are better today?
No, I like more what the people doing in the breed right now. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in special, some excellent breeders in Europe and Japan and in the United States. I have my favorite breeding in the United States involves Papillons. I think they are beautiful. I like what the ladies doing in America. They are good. They are beautiful Papillons. And two great people in Japan and someone's in Europe. Also in Russia.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Russia. Yeah.
There are some two nice comments from our friend Michael Canalizo. He says, he says, love his take on showing a breed naturally. Too many have gone Hollywood. And then he says, I so understand his take on our personal mode of dress. I have some experience on that too. Yes, Michael also likes to have a lot of color and a shine on him. That's always nice to see.
When Teresa Coutinho won the group at the Garden, I was there. And Michael used it with a beautiful jacket. When he finished saying, where's the jacket? And he forgot the jacket somewhere. But I want to keep that jacket for me. It was a sparkle black. It was black sparkle jacket. I remember all my life.
Yeah, good for Michael. Yeah, wonderful. I want to ask you now, Gabi, a little bit about judging. When you are invited to judge, would you say that you have, let's say, a favorite breed or a favorite group to judge? And are there still some breeds that are difficult for you that when you get invited, you need to prepare a little bit more?
I always want to judge something new. I love it when the club send to me the breeds before I arrive. Because remember, we live in South America. You have in Europe all this bunch of breeds we never have here. Never.
Yes.
And we have over my back this big responsibility to be an all-rounder, right? So when a club sent to me the list of the breeds, I love it. I love that because I have time to looking. I have time to study. I have time to look some videos, some things about that breed I never touched before or I never
Yeah.
see before. So yes,
And
of course.
what would you say that it's your favorite group, and which group you think it's most difficult for you to judge?
Terriers are my most difficult group to judge.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. And the favorite group would be the Sidehounds or the Group 9?
Sidehounds. Yeah.
Sidehounds.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like a boy with the biggest chocolates, right?
Yeah,
With the ice
I can imagine that.
Two ice cream, one here, one here.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to ask you another thing about judging. You have mentioned a little bit before. You said that when you were in Colombia, people were complaining because you were showing dogs and you are a judge and people know you and blah blah blah. And this is the stories that we hear all the time. And actually,
it was a hard time.
reason. Yeah,
it was a very
this is the reason why many judges, when they start to judge a lot, many of them stop breeding and showing. On another hand, many of them continue because breeding and showing is their passion. I want to ask you how difficult is, for example, for you when you need to judge a dog shown by somebody who you know very well, who is a friend, who is a famous judge, and how difficult you think is that for your colleagues judges when they are judging dogs shown by you.
This is the best question. The best question tonight.
Okay.
Before I'm a judge, I'm a human. In especially a judge of me, I'm judging with my heart and my abilities. I can put I can put separated my heart, my mind with my heart. No, it is a complete packet, right? In my personal opinion, I never feel embarrassed if a friend of mine show under me. Never. And it's easier. I judging dogs. God judging humans.
Yeah.
So if a friend of mine want to be judging by me, he's my friend mistake. Because I judging my friends' dogs. And of course, I never be hypocrite. If my friend have a beautiful dog, in my opinion, why not? I put up in the front. But he needs to show under me the best dog in the lineup.
Yeah.
The best one. Because this is the friend who really believes in me, who really knows what I'm looking for in his breed or in his group. Is my friend understand what I'm looking for and he want to sacrifice his dog under me? Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome. Answer is here. You show your dogs under me, and I love you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Yeah, of course.
Because
that's the normal way.
I am your friend. I'm not your dog's friends.
Yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah, that's
away.
true.
Dogs pass away. I hope so. Our friendship can be forever.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good explanation.
This is what I'm thinking about it. And in my personal way, nobody pay my credit card. Nobody pay nothing in my life. I don't care what the people say. Is one day, I remember one meeting at the Columbia Cannon Club. One day, a person who have a power say to me, you need to stop or breeding or judging or showing your dogs or judging. You know what I do? You know what I say? Take my license. I'm a breeder. I'm a breeder. Yeah. And you never breeding a champion in your life. The difference between you and me, you have the power. I'm never looking for power.
Yeah. It is amazing that many times when I talk with the people like you, with the people like Bite or like Jose Homem or people who have been very successful both as judges and exhibitors, when I ask would you, if you would need to sacrifice one thing, would you sacrifice breeding and showing or judging? Everybody say judging. I am a breeder. I love my dogs. I want to continue to breed and I want to continue to show.
Judging coming later. And believe me, I hate airports. I hate planes. I have 2 big back surgeries. So you can imagine how many hours I sit in the plane when I arrive. Sometimes I can walk. Sometimes I need to use a real shirt. So I don't crave for travel. I love judging, but not travel. And no, when I go to travel, when I want to go in for holidays, my husband and I, we can go in. We can do it. I don't need nobody club money to pay my expenses to go outside. No. And we have a real life. We have family, we have responsibility, we have house, we have business. So for me, go outside for a week, for 10 days, for 2 weeks, it's a big problem sometimes. But I love to do it.
Yeah.
I'm always in the panel. Always in the panel. I am the expensive one because I living in the middle of the jungle. So this is a very expensive. A very expensive ticket. I understand that. It's a very expensive ticket. And you know that you pay my ticket.
It's not a problem. Anyhow, there are 2 more questions for you, Gabi. We have been talking for 2 hours now. And I want just to say to you that there have been 2 people that you have mentioned during the interview, and that was Jose Homem de Melo, who has right, thank you a lot, Gabi. He has obviously appreciated you mentioning him. And then you have a comment from Bitares Primavera saying, thank you for your kind words. Love to hear you talk with such passion about our wonderful hobby, and especially about one of the most special breeds, the Italian Sighthound. So your friends are watching you and very happy to
a big honor for me.
Yeah. Okay. Now, before I ask you the 2 last questions, Gabi, I have asked you, like everybody else, to send 5 photos that are very important in your life. You will not see them, but people who are watching the interview, they are going to see them on the screen now. And you will tell us and explain us about these 5 photos, why they mean so much for you. The first photo that Beltran will put on the screen is a photo that you told me. It's a very young Gabi with his parents. Tell us something about this photo.
You know, Ante, without my parents, I'm not the person who I am right now. Because they give it everything to me. They save my life. They give me the life. And they support me in everything. I want to repeat, and it's not a problem for me to repeat that 100 times. I was gay in a communist era. It was very difficult for my parents. But they say, no problem. We are your parents. And this is your life. This is you choose for that. And we support you. So my parents are everything. And thanks God, they still living. They still love me. And I still love them. They're everything.
That's amazing. Me. That's amazing. That's always amazing to hear. Second photo that you sent us is again young Gabi with a little different style. Here you had a little bit of mustache, which were at that time black. Now they are white. With one of your mentors. Tell us something about you are hugging your mentor.
I'm emotional now after talking about my parents because my parents still living in Cuba. Now for a long time I don't see them. And you bring to my memories also a person who was very important in my life as my parents are, Max Marger. Max was my best friend for many, many years. And Max opened the door of Lollybrook to me. You know, Lollybrook at that moment, he had the most beautiful whippets and greyhounds in the world, in our area, in our size. I remember somebody from Colombia called to him and say, Max, he's a poor guy. Why you give to him 2 beautiful whippets and 2 beautiful greyhounds? He's poor. Because I was there. I was at Max's house when this person from Colombia calling. And Max's answer was, because he is a dog person. No matter he's money, not. I give my dog to him because I know Gabby can sacrifice himself to give to my dog his best life possible. And Max, every year I save money and save money because I want to spend the time with him. And he opened the door of the mansion, of the beautiful house, and showed to me every single book, every single sculpture, every single opinion. I go with him to dog shows in Canada. I go with him with dog shows in the United States, and always teaching me. So everything I'm looking for right now, because it's Max, talk to me in my ears and say, this is the dog. This is the dog. Remember what I say.
Yeah, that's amazing. Third photo that you sent us is you, let me check, winning Best in Show at Sikalam Show in 2013.
Oh my goodness, it was beautiful. It was my last show in Colombia. My last show. I never go inside again in a dog show with my dogs in Colombia. Colombia was a very important country for me. My best friends still living there, and my best memories at the dog world come from Colombia. Right? I grew up in Colombia. I arrived in Colombia when I was a teenager, so they give to me and everything. I be a man in Colombia, right? I changing everything when I come from Cuba. So that show was in a very critical situation because was when I need to decide. My old breed license already arrived. I finished everything. I finished all the process, and the president, not the president of the Colombian Kennel Club, he never liked to talk with me too much. The people at the judges committee, he said that guy said to me, "You need to decide." So a week before, I don't know what happened with my future. If I stop to judge at the beginning, right? Because I start to judge, groups and something that Best in Show was never allowed to when you finish all breeds, right? So at that week, at that Sikalam week, Sikalam is one of the sections show, right?
Yeah.
It's America's and Caribbean Dog Show, something smaller, but this invite all South American country. So all the famous dogs was there in Bogota. All the famous dog was there. So I showing Gisela, who already was the dog of the year a year before. Gisela is Yoconda's grandmother. So when I showing Gisela without expectation, because was the president of the Colombian Kennel Club, who is somebody who at that time was not really nice with me because I do it this dual live judging and showing, right? So I'm not expected to win in the Best in Show Sikalam shows with all the famous Argentinian dogs, Chilean, the dog from Chile, dogs from all countries, and all the biggest name in Latin American session was invited to judge that dog show. This is a very important moment because it's like my word when I say, you know that she is my own breeding, 13 generations. I want to continue to breeding. If you take my license away, just take it.
It's okay.
Like
yeah.
Take Italian side outside my hands.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, picture number 4 is you and your husband.
This is my beast. He is my best friend. And everything I living for the last year was for him. When I miss Leandro, when I meeting him, I live in a very bad situation. At that time, I thinking I can be nothing again. I lost everything. Who want to looking after me? Who want to live with me? I have a dog without nothing, without love. And when he came to my life, when he showed what kind of person he was at the moment, and he's better now, changing everything. I believe in love again. He support me in everything. He never was a dog person. He never been before in a dog show. He never sleep with a dog in a bed. And he's doing everything like this. He started breeding. And it was the first time ever the first time ever, somebody owns Da Vinci's kennel name. So we are owners together of Da Vinci's kennel name. We are owners together of Da Vinci's farm. We are owners together of Da Vinci's boarding kennel. He was one of the biggest boarding kennel in Brazil. So I call him my real war. I call him my peace, my flat, my perfect moment.
Wonderful. Wonderful to hear. Okay, and let's then share with us your another perfect moment, and that's a photo of a very happy Gabi with his Italian Sidehound in the hands, Jakel Tamash holding a big trophy, and Ilaria Biondi, the Ciabatti, the president of the Peruvian Kennel Club. Tell us a little bit about that.
I already mentioned it to you. It was an unforgettable night, really unforgettable night. I not expected. It's many beautiful dogs in the lineup, an authority Sidehound person, authority judge in the ring. I not expected. I feel like, third in the best in show would be good, but the best in show at that moment, and I'm really tired because it was a long weekend. Every day dog shows. It was a little freezing night. Lima can be a little colder at night. Joconda don't want to stay more. She want to jumping in my life and looking for the cover. And it was a hard moment to try to put her in the four legs in established situation. But thanks God, the performance was beautiful. Thanks God, the moment was beautiful. And thanks God, this beautiful trophy with this big guy who called Tamash Jakel came in the front of me. Unforgettable. Unforgettable.
Wonderful. Okay, we have last two questions for you, Gabi. The first one is, what would be your advice for someone young who wants to become successful in dogs, no matter as exhibitor, breeder, or a judge?
Be natural. Be a good human. Be a good person. And everything you can get it.
Wonderful. And then the last question for tonight. It's a little bit about our sport that has given us, to all of us, so much, which is obviously under attack in the last few years by animal activists, and a lot of things are happening, and all kind of things, and I don't know how it's going to go on. I want to ask you, I don't know now, I want to ask you, how do you see the future of the sport? Are you optimistic? And let's say, how do you think the world of purebred dogs will look like in, let's say, 10 years?
I'm very optimistic in everything I do in my life. Everything. I can be different. So yes, I think everything can be normal because we're working on, and we need to continue to working on. I know what happened with the brachycephal breeds. I know what happened with some people who come to the dog show, open the crate and make it crazy. It happened in Sao Paulo a few months ago before the pandemic. Crazy people coming inside the dog show, open the crate, the dogs running around and dogs pass away in the street. Was crazy. But this is a crisis. This is a human crisis. But I'm sure everything come back to normal. But we need to continue to working on. We need to show to the world. We need to show to human. We are normal person. We are important for the future of the animals. All kind of animals. We are very important. Breeders are very important. So without us, without our job and our passion and our love, nothing can be normal anymore. Nothing. Yeah. And I think FCI countries, we need to be more together. We need to working more together. No matter where we can, no matter what country are, no matter if it's a small or biggest country, no matter if it's a dog show, it's 100 dogs or 20,000 dogs. We need to working together for the future of our beautiful dogs. But yes, I'm very optimistic. I
That's nice.
Different.
Yeah, that's nice to hear. Okay. First of all, thank you, Gabi, for accepting my invitation to be my guest. I was sure this was going to be a wonderful evening, and indeed it was so. And you have got. I hope later on you can check the interview on Facebook. There are a lot of nice comments for you to read them because I obviously didn't have time to read them all. Let's just read the few ones that we have received now. Sabine van der Zwan saying, wonderful interview from a genuine, warm-hearted man. Thank you. Patricia Nemirovski de Alcina saying, lovely memories. Juan Miranda Saucedo saying, hello, my dear friend Gabriel. Admiration for you always. Rasera Divo saying, wonderful interview. Congrats, Gabi and Ante. Nina Stembacka saying, thank you for this lovely evening. Elizabeth Aun Moseby saying, so proud of you, Gabi. Well done. Joka Correa saying, we hope to see you soon in Fondao, Portugal. So a lot of your friends and a lot of people who have respect for you were watching this, and they were grateful for this opportunity. I want to say also, obviously, as always, a huge thank you to everybody who was watching the interview. Huge thank you to everybody who was leaving the comments. I'm sure Gabi will be happy to read all of them later on. Next Wednesday, my guest will be another famous breeder, Dusan Paunovic from Serbia, who was very successful with his micro Chihuahuas kennel. And I'm looking forward also to that. The last words of tonight, I'm leaving to you, Gabi, to say something to all the people who were watching the interview and leaving these wonderful comments for you.
And to you first, all my admiration for everything you're doing in our sport, because you are an example. You are following example for many of the people around. Thank you for the change. Thanks for the opportunity to open your house, to open the online interview to me. I am a simple one. I'm Gabi, your friend. I'm Gabi, a friend of everybody else. I just want to say healthy, and love with all my heart to all my friends. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Gabi. Thank you for being so honest and so nice and so passionate about everything you were talking about. Thank you, everybody, for watching. See you next Wednesday, same place, same time. Good evening and enjoy your day. Bye.